introduction to today's topic. You can move to the next slide. You remember that nature disconnection and the fragmentation of the work of our organizations is a main pain point of what we do. Next slide, please. Then with the ARK, we try to empower educators and communities and accelerate the impact of education for sustainable development. You know this too, but today we're going to share with you an overview of learning paths. It will be next slide. Here you see the fragmentation in the case of Austria. Next slide, please. Those are the ARK concepts. Next slide, please. Yes, so we built here a new organizational structure. This is a fun slide that somehow shows that different organizations have different organizational structures. And with the ARK, we built a new organizational structure. And some of you maybe have asked, okay, so what is actually new about this structure? And for this, we have, together with Valentin, created a slide that explains it very easily. Next slide, please. So the ARK is set up as a platform that connects communities that offer learning for sustainable development to learners. So whoever registers a profile is a learner on the ARK. Of course, simultaneously, you can also become an educator. And then you offer in a community content. And the content is organized on the ARK in an event platform, free of charge, non-profit event platform that we consider as a local commons because you do it in your community or in your region. But whenever you think you have developed the best practice, you can load it into a best practice library. This is the global commons concept, which we know from Wikipedia. So how does this structure in the platform work, and how do we want to match the learner, the interests of the learner with the offering that our communities have? This would be the next slide, please. So the learner on the one side has a learning instinct, which you know, is widely discussed. What is the learning instinct of individuals? Do we actually have a learning instinct? On the other side, you see the organizations that offer content. And nowadays, in a traditional curriculum, if you go into schools, not much has changed. I always quote the last midterm results of my daughter. I compared it to the 7th degree midterm results that I got when I was in school 35 years ago. Format, content, subjects, nothing has changed. So the question is, can we set up a new curriculum, one that teaches ecology and empathy for the planet? And we have come up with 15 learning paths currently, and you see that the content that we offer is structured along those 15 learning paths. So whenever you set up an event on the platform, you can choose one or several of those learning paths to define your content and also your own community. And then you set in your profile what you're interested in, and you will be automatically matched. This is the idea behind the learning platform. Okay, next slide, please. All right, that was it. It's Lukas' turn.
All right, so now we're gonna take a look at what's new in the ARK for all of us to make it work for us. So let me share my screen, and you should be seeing my screen now. And as you probably know it, this is the landing page of the ARK. So not much has changed in here in terms of the content. On the we've got the number of members, number of communities, the total amount of impact points that have been accumulated. Maybe I should start taking note how much it is each time we have the beta calls to update you with the progress. But what has changed is on the very bottom of the page. I hope you don't get dizzy with the scrolling. We have added a footer, which is like a place for people who are interested in the platform to go and see what it is about, how they can contribute, to get to the manual. And we have also started a blog about the ARK. So we've got 4 columns in here: contribution, development, communication, and about. In contribution, people can find out how they can become mentors, and a community mentor, so to start a community, or regional mentor to have to promote the ARK among other communities. In the development section, people can find out how they can join as translators or as developers. In the communication section, you can see our manual videos. If you haven't checked them out as Giuseppe is sharing them, then definitely come and check it out, because we've been churning out new videos almost on a weekly basis. And you can find some videos that explain what the ARK is about and how to create and manage activity and so on. So this is definitely of help if you are struggling on the platform. I go back, and we also have a section of about, where we have linked a white paper that is describing the concept behind the ARK, code of conduct, privacy policy, and terms of use. For the curious ones, definitely recommend to go and check out the white paper. In here on the main page, we have a shorter version of it, and we have also linked a long version of it, which leads to a PDF that you can read in peace. Okay, so there is more structure for people who are interested about the platform to go and discover how to join, how to use it, what it is all about. So let's go into the platform and see what's new in there. So as a first thing that I would like to share with you is that we are growing in terms of international contribution, and we have just added 2 new languages. The ARK can now be used in Turkish and in Italian. So a big thanks to our translators. I will maybe show you some page which has, oh, now I cannot use it anymore because I don't speak Turkish. I will go, for example, to the settings page, where there is a lot of text, and we are trying to make the platform accessible to people in as many places as possible, and that of course includes making it available in their own regional language, because many people don't have a good command of English, or are feeling much more comfortable if the platform is in their mother tongue. So big thanks to Gloria and Giuseppe for the Italian translation, and I don't know who did the Turkish translation, but
Okus.
Okus. Yeah, I hope it's good, because I have no way to find out. And the call to action in here would be whoever is interested to contribute and be part of the translations team, then the person to contact is Giuseppe, or of course go to the about page and click the translations to find out how to get involved. Okay, next thing that I wanted to show to you is that maybe you have noticed that I have a new thing in here on my profile. If you have been in the call in the past. So we've got a new part called interests, and in here people, users, can set what learning paths they are interested in, and these learning paths are currently shown on their profile. So when other people are browsing your profile, basically they can see that these are the things that you are interested in, and later on, automatically, when they are browsing through the platform, the content that they are interested in, so content that is aligned with one of those learning paths, will be shown on the very top. So that will be, as Knut has mentioned, a way to better satisfy your learning instinct. If you click on the learning path, you get a description, and that's another new thing that is waiting for us in here. We have learning path number 15, sustainable buildings, which was added out of interest of a community which is doing, which is interested in sustainable buildings. And so we have extended the number of them from 14 to 15, and you can now organize activities which are focused on teaching how to design and construct buildings, which enable sound behavior architecture and sustainable resource consumption. Okay, so that's the learning path number 15, and I'm getting to back to English first, and we have a big new feature which many people were asking for, and it is resolving the following problem. You are organizing an activity, an event, but you don't need people to register. You don't need people to sign up in advance. Wait a second, I will ask them to. Sorry, I'm back. So if you have participants which are not coming through the ARK, but you would still like them to become members, you would still like them to come to the platform and receive the impact points. So basically, you would like them to start tracking their impact. It was very difficult. You had to ask them to create a profile, and then you had to manually add them to the activity, and then you have to add them the impact points. So we came up with a way to generate a QR code that people can scan and automatically become members of this event, so participants of the event, and automatically get the impact points. So let's have a look at the example of today's call. So I see that many of you have already joined. There are 6 participants, but let's go to the event dashboard. And in the impact points section, I can scroll down. This is the section where normally you would be first checking people in and awarding them the impact points. I will scroll down, and there is a new section in which I can generate a redeem impact points QR code or a link. And it tells me here you can generate the QR code and the link, which can be used to redeem impact points for participating in this activity. Your participants can board the ARK and get impact points right away. You have 2 settings in here. You can set how many times this code can be used. So if you are expecting, let's say 15 participants, you will set this to 15. You can set how many hours after the activity ends should the code be valid. So we suggest the default of 24. So you can redeem up till 24 hours after the activity finishes. And bam, you create and you get your QR code, which you can download and print out if you want to give people in a physical form, or you can share the link with people. So maybe I will share the link in the Zoom chat. Do that. more chat and everyone. If you guys are curious to try. And so what happens basically is that let me open a anonymous window. So I'm not logged in into ARK now, and for example, I don't have an account at all. I will come to this screen, which says, congratulations, you did something good for the planet and people, now get your impact points. And it asks you whether you are new or whether you already have an account or if you are new. So let's say that I'm already on board. So I will log in using my ARK account. And after I log in, I get another pop-up which says that in the activity of ARK Beta User Score October 21st, I was awarded 10 impact points of the learning path appropriate technology. I can also click on it, see what it is about, learn about tools and technologies that allow us to accelerate our transformation towards planetary sustainability. All right, and so many of ARK users, many organizations are actually teaching to children. So basically, their parents would be the ones who are going to be collecting the impact points for their kids. So in case that you arrive in here and you only have your profile in here, you can also create a new child profile. I'm going to create, I don't know, John, who was born in 2015. And you can basically redeem the impact points both for the child. Congratulations. And then you can redeem again if you also want to redeem for yourself or for another child. So I will also redeem for myself. Okay. And that's it. So I got the new impact points in my profile. John also got those points in his profile. And if I go now back to the dashboard of the activity and I reload, I will now see that there are people, already 5 people who have joined through the redeem impact points QR for the link. Yeah, so that's it. We've been having a lot of people saying that they don't want to sell tickets to the ARK, but they would still like to award the impact points and basically help people to track their progress and bring them to the platform. So this should be a way in which this should be much easier and more convenient to do. Okay, and while we are in the dashboard, there is also another feature that I wanted to show to you. For those of you who are creating courses, some course creators prefer that the course sessions, so if you have a course, it consists out of sessions, right? So you show in here what will be happening in the course, who will be organizing it, how many credits there are. So some organizers said, I want this information to only be visible to people who are participants. So if you are not subscribed, if you have not joined this course, then you don't see this information. So if I go to the course dashboard, there is a new menu for settings. And in the settings, I can set up the session visibility. I can set up whether the sessions are publicly visible or they are visible only for participants. So I'm going to set it only for participants. And again, I will open it in a private window. So HS Summit. And if I go to the sessions now, then I will see, because I'm still logged in, sorry, I need to sign up. And now if I go to the sessions, it will tell me that I can't see this and I have to join the course to see the details about its sessions. I can also see it in Italian if I want. Okay, and so that's it for the courses. And we've got one more big thing for you, though. I hope that you are not overwhelmed yet. Maybe you thought that the ARK is missing functionalities to communicate, to discuss. As we are developing it as a learning platform first, we didn't add these features from the very beginning, but now we came up with a companion in a form of a forum. So we have deployed forum on the address of forum.ark.greensteps.me. And in here, we can discuss what matters now. It is our digital agora. On the very top, we can see some videos, maybe not for me because I'm not on a VPN right now. And we came up with some discussion categories. So it is basically an internet forum. It is a place where people can post their topics to discuss, their questions or their problems, or where we can post announcements about the ARK and people can be automatically notified about it. So it's a multilateral communication tool. So we came up with several categories to steer the discussion into the directions that we find beneficial. Maybe I will open it as again in a private window because I see too much. I see the administrator view in here. And one of the most active groups right now in terms of contribution are translators. So we made a category in which translators can discuss about how to translate different parts of the platform, or maybe how to translate different kind of terminology in terms of nature and sustainability education. Then there is category of feedback, where any kind of feedback about the platform can go. There's a category of bioregions in which bioregion or ecoregion questions are being discussed, and they give space to people who want to be part of developing a system, a post-national and post-national system. Then there is a category of learning paths in which we want to discuss the learning paths that are the main, main thing that shows what the content is about on the platform. So what the content is focused on, and then solutions that are needed to overcome problems that we are facing. So I would like to invite you to the forum. Right now, it will still ask you to create an account. Before the next data call, you should be automatically logged in with your ARK account. So it will be integrated with the rest of the platform. All right, so that's it from my side. And Knut, would you like to add anything about the forum or about anything that I have just said?
Yeah, so actually, even I feel today was a lot of content. And if somebody is not part of our development process, I'm pretty sure it is overwhelming. So I want to make a few statements to explain why we do what we do before we move into a Q&A. So maybe first in regard to Discourse. Discourse is an application that is widely used when new platforms are being developed. We chose it to structure how we discuss our development towards sustainability. We have set a clear focus for the ARK that we wanna drive what we discuss into a certain direction. If you compare other social media platforms like Facebook, everything is discussed there, things that are of really no importance. Let it be. But for the ARK, we would really like to drive the discussion towards things that matter now. And this is why we have set up those preliminary categories. Whoever volunteers to become a moderator on the ARK, this is a new role, a moderator on discourse, can also set up new categories and can set up new topics. So it's a crowd-sourced way to discuss things that matter. If you feel that we need a 16th learning path, or that you feel that the content of a learning path is not accurate, we did together develop the platform, and on discourse, we drive the discussion to come to such conclusions. So it's really a way to interact. And there's also one important category about bioregions. Can you scroll down, Lucas? And here it says, we discuss in this category bioregion or ecoregion specific questions and intend to develop this category into a governance system which drives post-national and bioregional decision-making. This sounds super big, but you know that when you sign up to the ARK, you get as a first information your own bioregion. And the bioregions are a core concept in the ARK, and we hope that this discussion is really helping us to restructure the planet as it is now. Behold, we are now in a national state system. It means we have national economies competing against each other. Those are the biggest blocks of competition. And as long as we operate in those blocks, it is very little help that we as individuals cooperate. So the transformation needs to happen on several levels. And here on Discourse, we can drive this together. This is just a starting point. This will take time, needs to have a lot of users. And then I wanted to make one remark in regard to this QR code and the link that we can redeem impact points. Maybe this also feels complicated, but also again, we need to remember that the ARK focuses on offline events. It is very easy to develop a platform that children can on their whatever iPad at home use, and then you get your impact points directly on the app. We mostly want to do offline events with the platform. And offline events, it means that people are in different spaces, in different places, in schools, on a permaculture farm, here with us in a forest, in a park. And then when the event is over and they maybe don't have yet a profile, you still want to give them the possibility to get the impact points and sign up. And this is the idea behind this QR code. So you can print it, take it on a sheet of paper, they scan it, the parents scan it, teachers scan it, however, and they can easily redeem the impact points. All right, I think that was it. Just to give a better understanding why we develop those functionalities. Each functionality we develop really because we believe it matters. Q&A, I would say.
Questions? Anyone can imagine making an event in which they will use the QR code? And what do you think about the design of the feature?
Well, I'm just gonna break the ice because I really hope that you also feel that just try it once, okay? For us, it's also about trying. We have launched on our community 2 courses. And for those courses, we will try this redeem impact points function. And I feel this is gonna be a big help. By the way, you can also launch those courses in your own community. So if you're interested, let us know. But a simple event will also do. It doesn't need to be a course.
The difficulties, and I told Joanne as well, the difficulties for us in China and in the school, in a school, we cannot invite and create event for outside people. So I just have a question. Can I create a dynamic by maybe sending a QR code or asking the parents? I don't know. I would like to help and to start something, but the current organization, because of the post-COVID things, is still a bit difficult in my position of school. So maybe you can help me. You can brainstorm what kind of event or sharing or post-event feedback, and parents can still, for example, I welcome yesterday a French lady who just created ecologic liquid laundry. It's like create your own liquid laundry with two simple products. We did this event with the kids, but I wanted to share more contact and things, and maybe to create a beginning of something around Magnolia in my environment. But right now, I don't know if it's clear, but right now for me, it's difficult to create event. So how can I do? This is the question.
Lucas, you want to go, or should I? Pauline, we have already since a few months, we have this function of creating a private event. So if you have the problem that you cannot invite external people because of COVID, this is a feature that we have already set up some months ago. You just define the event. Maybe Lucas can quickly show also. You just define when you set up an event that it is non-public. And then you share maybe in a group, in a WeChat group, just this link to the event. You can do it for a class, the parents of a single class, or your entire school, and nobody else will see it unless it is forwarded. Yeah, but you could of course also control somehow who then participates. So do you see this here? Link only. So it's not public. It will only show in your community.
Yeah. Otherwise, I know that for a kindergarten, the setup would be maybe something more like a class management. The teacher has the profile of the kids and connected to his administration, and also the parents can see that, can see the profiles of the children, and then it's more like a class management. So we also understand this need. Right now, I think what people do is they add the children that they take care of in the class as their connected accounts, and then they create private events, and in those events they add those children and then give them the impact points. That's the way it is possible to do now. But yeah, we can also brainstorm later with you, Pauline, and with Joan, what would be possibilities to create more traction in your community, in your kindergarten.
Yeah, I agree. It would be definitely possible currently that just a teacher takes the parent role or the guardian role and sets up all the children of his class. And whenever there is an event, for example, in People's Park, the teacher could award the credits, the impact points.